I'm sick, you're sick, we are all sick of getting the same iPhone year after year after year, but what if finally we have a redesign coming, a brand new form factor for iPhone? In this video, I put it all on the line. I put my hair on the line with a gentleman's prediction and a gentleman's bet. Absolute full disclosure here, today we are talking about the iPhone 17 Slim. So an iPhone for not this year, but the next. I rarely say this, but I'm gonna ask you to pay attention to this video. I'm gonna need you to follow me closely to pick up every little piece that I put down. The information, an insanely accurate publication, the first to ever show us Vision Pro, by the way, years ahead of time, and Kuo-Ming Chi have both mentioned a new but slim iPhone that is on the way. How slim? Well, here it is up next to an iPhone 15 Pro Max. I'm just gonna come out and tell you the chances of that being true are actually very good. The issue is that most publications and personalities discussing this stuff can't seem to agree which parts of this rumor are true and which are not. They seem to think it's confusing, but I don't think it's confusing. I just think they are confused and also wrong. iPhone 12, by the way, yes, it has been that long since we have had a major design change to the form factor of iPhone. And that came out almost 4 years ago? Time is not real. And we are slowly dying. Sure, yeah, I know. Since then, we have gotten the dynamic island instead of a notch, starting with iPhone 14 Pro, but come on. And wrapping it all in titanium? Them's the same bones underneath. The whole idea of going thinner, slimmer, airier is an obsession that goes way back, since forever. Apple has always been pursuing the thinnest possible product, let alone iPhone. All in all, so far, this rumor tracks. Again, thankfully, a lot of the details come to us from one of the most reputable sources in the game, Kuo-Ming Chi. And if he's correct, we aren't just adding another iPhone to the 4 that already come out every year. No sir, Tim Cook demands sacrifice. A life for a life. A slim iPhone 17 is going to cost us the iPhone 17 Plus. The Plus model currently accounts for only about 5 to 10% of total new iPhone shipments. It implies that the other 3 iPhone models, Standard, Pro, and Pro Max, already adequately cover the high-end market segments, making the Plus model redundant. Yeah, imagine being redundant. Actually, you know what? Hang on. Go ahead and write that last part down. Not the part about being redundant. The part about losing the Plus model and gaining a slim, thin Air model, because that'll be important in, say, the next few minutes. There is a big, awkward elephant in the room, and that elephant is a price tag of $1,299, $1,300. That is the rumored price floating around for this device. That little piece of scary was provided by a leaker known as Ice Universe, who is not as accurate as the other two, but still, Ice Universe might be correct. There is a chance of that. I just don't think that he is. It seems that no publication nor pundit can agree on the actual details of this phone, sort of labeling it as confusing and a mess. Yeah, but what if it wasn't confusing though? I'm here today to tell you that we shouldn't be looking at this device like the first iPhone Slim. We should be looking at it as the first ever iPhone Air. And I am prepared to make my case and bet my hair after this sponsor break. You may have seen the latest scary movie, Longlegs, but you know what's even scarier? Data brokers. Evil businesses designed to steal and siphon as much of your data as possible. Phone numbers, addresses, social security numbers, and even information on your relatives. They take that data and sell it to anyone that is willing to cough up the cash for it. And that is why we have been working with Delete Me for years. Delete Me is the only privacy service trusted by us here at FPT, giving you an entire team that goes to work for you. Within just 7 days, the ninjas at Delete Me will provide you a detailed report of everything those data brokers have on you so that you can take back control of your privacy. They'll go to work getting your data removed from Google search results and all of these data broker websites. I'm just telling you like it is. These data brokers have entire teams to steal your data. And now you have a team to take it back. Take back control of your online data today and get 20% off a full year of Delete Me by going to joindeleteme.com/frontpagetech. Kuoming Chi goes on to say that while this totally looks like Apple is replacing the iPhone Plus model with a slim model, this is not the case. I, however, do not think that is a meaningless detail. Things really start to get interesting when Kuo tells us that Apple will be placing emphasis on features like an innovative form factor and design instead of more performance-oriented features like how fast the new Apple Silicon chip is or how many gigapixels are in that camera. You know, nerd stuff. Remember, keep that whole idea of an iPhone Air in your back pocket. Hopefully when I mentioned it earlier, you wrote down a little note, folded it up, saved it for later. It's almost later now. Perhaps more interesting than everything mentioned before this point is a list of specifications that Kuo has provided. These are the current believed specs of what everyone is calling the iPhone 17 Slim. A screen size of approximately 6.6 inches. Screen resolution, approximately 2740 by 1260. The processor inside, A19 chip, not A19 Pro. The dynamic island area will be similar to the current models. It'll feature a metal frame, adoption of a titanium aluminum alloy metal frame with a lower percentage of titanium than the current Pro and Pro Max metal frames. Less, you say. Inside you'll also find a 5G modem, created by Apple's in-house team. Oh, and the camera? Just one. There is one single camera on the back. There it is. That last one, huh? Pretty interesting, wouldn't you say? This is a premium phone that will be priced above the Pro and Pro Max models, and it features an A19 chip, not the Pro, and has a single camera on the back. iPhone 15 and 15 Plus come in with a 6.1-inch and 6.7-inch display, respectively. So a 17 Slim at 6.6 inches sure seems like it would slide right between them like a hot dog between some buns. In fact, the display resolution is even cozied up, how convenient, right up to what we would expect from a Plus model, only being off by around 100 pixels in total. So really not that different at all. Imperceivable, you might say, to the naked eye, like, say, the differences between me and Christian Bale. And when we weigh the pricing options for iPhone 17 Slim, the rumored specs really tell a story. I mean, don't you think? I'll just ask you, do these specs scream premium $1,300 phone to you? I have prepared for you a simple exercise, and after we perform said exercise, how do you feel? How do you feel if we replace the word slim with Air? Suddenly, not confusing. Not a mess. In fact, all of this now makes sense. MacBook Air, the lighter, thinner, airier impulse buy MacBook that targets casual consumers. iPad Air, the lighter, thinner, airier, mid-range option for iPad. Okay, maybe some of you are yet to be convinced. In that case, don't worry, I have a follow-up question as part of this exercise. The question is, who would you say cares more about how a phone might look? Would you say it is the pros? Or perhaps, would you maybe say it could be the casual Apple fan that knows that phone looks new? I'm just throwing this out there. One of these groups of people does not know or care to know what is on the inside of that phone, but they can tell, they can see what looks new, and that's gonna look brand spanking new. Ladies and gents, what we are seeing here is an absolute banger of a value proposition. A sleek, trendy, new, slimmer, thinner, airier iPhone. Believe me, I see all the reports, I hear what everyone is saying, and I get it. I just happen to be at the other end of that spectrum. Hey, do you remember how the MacBook Air was introduced? When Steve Jobs unveiled the first MacBook Air, all the way back in 2008, there was incredible intention in everything he told us. And more importantly, the order of features that he listed out when introducing the new world's thinnest laptop. Size, weight, dimensions, they were at the absolute forefront, along with his usual razzmatazz. And wouldn't you believe it, it wasn't until the end of all of that, after all that had been established, that is when he did go ahead and mention that, yeah, it's going to be fast and have the same performance as the rest of their consumer-focused Macs. The iPhone 15 Pro is like 8-something millimeters. There's a number somewhere. Yes, 15 Pro Max, 8.2 millimeters thick. The rumored thickness for the 17 Slim, 5 millimeters. To me, the writing is on the wall. A single rear camera on a phone that looks trendy and brand new, a base level A19 chip, specifically not the Pro one, and basically the same resolution as an iPhone 15 Plus. And on top of that, they're discontinuing one of the base models. They're getting rid of the Plus model. Bro, nah. I believe that next year we are going to get the first ever iPhone Air, and it will be priced accordingly. I'm so sure of this, that if this phone launches and it has these mid-range, mid-level specs that have leaked, if that phone comes out and it is $1,300, scratch that. If this phone comes out and it is even a penny more than that year's Pro Max model, I will shave off every hair on my head. I will shave my head, and don't you think I won't. I have a certain history.
I can't really see myself in the... Oh my...
We have had no shortage of performance-focused, high-end, high-priced iPhones. Blazingly fast iPhones with cameras on the back that have enough fidelity to shoot an entire Apple event. It's now or never, Tim. It's getting a little stale at the bottom. Maybe it's time to get some air.